Have you been watching Love Island or no?
Yeah, actually, for Paige, if it wasn't
Ish.
for Paige, I probably wouldn't watch it. But I
Okay.
watched it from episode one all the way to the last episode. So
Okay. That's
it was my
definitely
first season. It was a
yeah.
pretty interesting season. I've heard like this is compared to the other season, this has kind of been like the least, I guess, least favorite. But I think it was a good one.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are saying that season seven was one of their least favorites because, there wasn't really anything going on. And I think the
Yeah,
only couples, now that Nick and Alandria aren't together anymore, the only couples that remain from that season are Taylor and Clark and TJ and Iris.
yeah.
And then this season, there wasn't really a whole lot in the beginning,
Hmm.
as far as I could tell. But once Casa started, the producers were like, "We took that personally.
Yeah, it was
We took that personally."
yeah, I think they definitely. What makes Love Island so good is the fact that like the audience, like America, can watch it and like actually contribute to what happens. And I think with the whole plot twist of when the boys were able to go to Casa and the girls could watch it on the screen, like the whole present and
That
like
was diabolical.
it was like, damn, like that's crazy because like this is a real like thing that just happened. They're watching the boys, like how they react to the girls, and like even with like Kenzie and Corbin at the time, and then Melanie and Sincere, and even Kate.
Yeah.
So that became like a whole thing, and it definitely got. And I also think it created like this division between guys and girls because a lot of people were defending Casey and then the girls defending Anaya, which I mean it get, but it's also like it's still a TV show. Like, but I get it though.
Yes.
It's the principle of being respectful and
Yeah. Yeah. Paige is like locked in, is she?
Nah, Paige is locked. She was locked, and especially after Casa, she was even more locked. And I think that's the producers do a good job at keeping the
Yeah.
audience locked in.
I think from like that first episode of Casa up until movie night and
Mhm.
then that following episode where like all those islanders got dumped, I personally think that's the best stretch of episodes in Love Island history.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was definitely a good one. And like I said, I haven't watched the other seasons, but to say this was my first season, it kept me hooked
Yeah.
because I will say
Yeah.
before Casa, it got to a point where it started to feel like kind of redundant. It's like the same stuff you kind of expect it, but Casa and then movie night, that was like the icing on the
Mhm.
cake for real.
Mhm.
So
I want to ask you some questions about who you think is going to stay together because obviously the reunion is August 31st.
yeah,
And I'm going to say a couple, and then you're going to say if you think they're going to stay together or not. So Trinity and Bryce.
Trinity and Bryce, I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. I think that
Okay.
they seem like they really enjoy each other's presence. The only
Mhm.
way I cannot see them stand together is if somebody was to do something diabolical. But I don't see it because
Exactly.
Bryce is a stand up dude. Like he seems very
Yeah.
respectful, and Trinity seems like a sweetheart. Like she wants
Yeah.
to be pampered. She wants to be told like the sweet things. So I think they're a good dynamic.
Yeah. Zach and Kata.
I
This is
don't know.
interesting right here.
Yeah, this is an interesting take because I've been hearing a lot of mixed things. Like, I think Kata, I like Kata. I think Kata is really cool. She has a
Mhm.
great personality, great attitude. She got that little New Hampshire accent. Like, everybody
Yeah.
loves Kata, but I think the
Queen
problem,
Vaughn.
yeah, I think the problem isn't Kata, is that a lot of people have problems
Oh,
with.
yeah, 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 yeah. Mhm.
Uh, I don't think they'll last. I don't think so. I'm not. I hope they
Interesting.
do though. I hope
Interesting.
all the couples last,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. I think Melanie and Sincere are already broken up, so we don't have to talk about them. Um, I don't expect them to last. Anaya and Carl.
I think Anaya and Carl have. I don't know. For me, I think they have a good connection. I think they definitely feed off of each other's energy. Like Anaya is the type. Well, Carl is the type of guy that Anaya would want. Like he's,
Yes.
he checks all the boxes. Real sweet, real respectful. He's just the epitome of that guy. Like he's just like the man. He's like a man, bro. Like everyone
Yes.
want a man like Carl. So like,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of curious to see how Carl feels about Nyla. I know, you know, at the movie night he was really feeling bad about her, but I don't
Mhm.
know, man. I hope they do last, but I don't know if they will. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. What about Kenzie and Dylan? Now they just announced that they were boyfriend and girlfriend today.
Yeah,
So I think they'll last.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they will. A
Mhm.
lot of people were hating. I mean, because Kenzie did have her fun in the villa. I'm not gonna lie.
Kenzie had her fun, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they'll last because she seems like she's really interested in Dylan. I was kind of skeptical
And
at first, but
I go off of what her dad said. He himself had to go through all of the things that Kenzie went through in the villa, like all
yeah,
that heartbreak and miscommunication and things like that to find his wife.
right.
So that's why I kind of feel for her, and I hope they last because I feel like she's the most iconic Islander of that
Yeah,
whole bunch.
yeah, she's definitely gonna get some brand deals after this season
Oh
because
yeah,
she is an interesting character for sure. But
yes.
I'm happy for him, man.
KC and TT.
I actually think they're gonna last, bro. Like I just actually saw like the little photo shoot they had, like with the
That
pictures.
was hard.
Like,
That shit was
that
hard.
shit was tough. I can't lie, that shit was tough.
Yeah.
I
Uh
think
huh.
TT came in on some tough girl shit, so it was a little rough at the beginning. But like, I think she's one of those people that has like a hard shell, and she comes off very aggressive, and I think she came off a little bit too aggressive because, like, once again, you're new into the villa, so you can't come in on some tough girl shit. And also, like, you also got to be respectful because you are a girl. Like, you got to be for the girls. Like, same way guys pull for guys, girls got to pull for girls too. So, like, I think she kind of came in at a weird time, but I do think they will last. I think so.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they came in Casa, and that's like the girls' like job is to kind of like tempt
Spice
the
it up.
guys like
Yeah.
away from their current couple. Same with the Casa guys as well. And some of it worked. I mean, yeah. What's your most controversial take about the entire season?
I think. Okay, so for me as a guy, and like for me, I don't. To me, it's not real to me because it's like a episode, like it's a show. Like I think it's half real, half fake, or half real, half script. I think the producers definitely like kind of push a narrative away in a certain way, where like certain things kind of get controlled to a certain extent, but they leave it up to the Islanders to like create another plot. So like I think for me personally, I think it. I think that show is a prime example of poor dating, and I think it's like a bad example to be shown to kids, bro. Like, this is what you should not like. Sincere and Melanie, like that's an example of how you should not treat a woman. But like, I think a lot of people will look at that, like the new generation, look at that and be like, "Oh my God, like this is cool." Like, and it's like we should not be promoting that. I'm not gonna lie, but that's my take.
Um, yeah, my take is that the core four should not have made the finale.
Who? So that's Trinity,
So it's
Kata.
Trinity, Kata, Anaya, and Melanie, the so-called core four.
Who do you think I
Um,
would not have made?
Melanie, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Here's why. Here's why it was very difficult for me to root for Melanie in the show. Um, Started when Corbin came in, and then Melanie was like all up on him like that. And
yeah,
then everything Beatrice said about her was spot on about how she was doing too much with Corbin
yeah,
that
yeah.
night.
I mean, it's not a hot take. It's really not. Who do you think should have been in the final four?
Either TT or Casey or Kenzie or Dylan. One of those two couples, I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a tough one
Yeah,
because I think
I mean,
I think America as a whole had mixed feelings about Kenzie because of her past.
yes.
Like that.
Now, now talking about, like, you mentioned this new generation, about like, oh no, we can't show this to the new generation. So I'm gonna continue to say why I couldn't really trust Melanie in there. It started with that fiasco with Corbin, and Beatrice said everything about her was spot on. Everything she said about Gabe when he was dumped was completely wrong. Was completely wrong. Gabe was there for the right reasons. He's
Yeah.
just freaky. He's just freaky.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
his
He's
personality.
just Brazilian.
Like, if you have a problem with that, I thought he and Jen had something good going. For
Yeah, I
real.
actually Jen grew on me. Like at first, I was kind of like weird about because I was like she's kind of coming in with at a weird time too. Like her, Caleb, and Soul.
Yeah.
Like so, I mean, it was weird, but Jen did grow on me towards the end. I was kind of hoping that she did get her chance. Gaul kind of fucked her over, and but
Yeah, Kyle kind of fucked it up, but
yeah,
yeah. And then lastly, the fact that you keep going back to Sincere
yeah,
after you see all these lies that he's doing, saying how he wants to be with Soul and not Melanie. And then I thought the final straw was, or not really, is that before the guys were going to go back to the villa, he told Amora that if he had more time, he would have been the one.
Sincere.
Um,
Yeah, Sincere kept shooting himself in the foot. I'm not gonna lie. I think deep
mhm.
down, Sincere really did want to be with Melanie, but Sincere cannot. I think Sincere was thinking with the wrong head. I'm gonna just say it like that. Sincere was thinking with the
Yeah,
wrong head, and
and and the fact why I couldn't trust Melanie is that you keep going back to this, even everything you saw at movie night.
yeah, yeah,
If I mean, if it was the real world, you know, this connection would be done in an instant.
facts,
And I
facts.
think the only reason why he stayed with Sincere was to, she stayed with Sincere was to get to the end. And that's not the point of the show.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad take. It's not a bad take because I mean even if I was like Melanie, or let's say if the roles was reversed. And I was Sincere and Melanie was doing like the bullshit. Like I could probably cause there are some people in this world that can be first of all, this shouldn't even be the case, but they can't be manipulated either. I think Sincere had definitely told Melanie everything that she wanted to hear. And like even
Yes.
like as a viewer watching it and as a guy, I can say like it was some shit that Sincere said. And I'm like, okay, you bullshitting, bro. Like, it's a difference between like saying like genuinely feeling sorry and apologizing and being like, okay, I'm gonna change and do better. But after the third time, it was like, all right, buddy, it's time. It's time to cut this out. So I don't know, man. Sincere got to lock in Melanie. I hope she, heal, and I hope she, figure things out for her.
You
So how do
saw
you
her
feel about
you
Melanie
saw
and Corey?
Corey. I know there have been some things that Corey has been saying outside the villa. I haven't really read it.
Yeah,
But, after the fact that like he made that picnic for her, I was like, how can you not go with this?
yeah.
How
I
do
think
how?
I think
Just
it's hard for
how?
me too though because like did they as like Casa were they able to watch the show while they were like not on this like because I've heard that
I
everybody
think so.
I was about to say because I think they were able to watch it and I think Corey came in. There was something that Corey said that kind of threw me off. He said when originally talking to Melanie, I think he had said something like, "I see things that you don't see," and he said like he was basically putting Sincere down, which I mean that was the case. But as a man, I'm not gonna lie, that's like below the belt because it's like, why are you putting another man down to talk to another girl? Like it gets to a point where you gotta use your natural skill, not skill, but like use your natural like aura and presence to like. But when he said that, that kind of threw me for a loop. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in the real world, like you'd probably get many situations like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true though.
But you shouldn't, yeah, you shouldn't do that on that show. Um oh, I forgot to mention one upper. Do you think Corbin and Parmita are gonna stay together?
Nah. I think they'll be good friends though. I think they
Yeah.
definitely would be good friends. I think Parmita is the girl version of Corbin, and Corbin is the guy version of Parmita. Like I think they really fit each other,
Yeah.
and even if they do try, I give it like a couple of months. But I think that they just have the same personality. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I see a
Yeah.
toxic relationship with them.
hmm I see a toxic relationship. I see a toxic connection with Melanie and Sincere
Yeah,
as well. But some of these like 12-year-old fans don't want to admit it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
There are so many comments on some of Corbin's recent TikToks of like, oh, get back with Melanie and things like that. I'm like,
yeah. I
this
don't
is
know,
this is
man.
cringe.
Ain't my relationship though, so hey, I'm chilling, bro. I treat my
Yeah.
girlfriend with respect, and I love where I'm at. So